Anderson Roofing and Contracting is your commercial, multifamily, and residential partners in construction, maintenance, and repair in Texas. Based in Flower Mound for more than 20 years, Anderson Roofing and Contracting is family-owned and operated, and their reputation means everything to them. They're licensed and insured, and they stand behind every project they're a part of. That's why they have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they've been voted the best roofer in the Best of Denton County 7 times. Request your free inspection and estimate today at AndersonRoofsTexas.com. That's Anderson, ROOFS, Texas.com.
Strittmatter Plumbing, Heating, and AC is your #1 choice for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing repairs in the Denton County area. Family owned and operated for over 40 years, Strittmatters is proud to support these high school athletes because giving back to their community is at the heart of everything they do. They stand behind their work with a 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Strittmatters offers free second opinions and no-cost estimates, and 7 to 8 is the same great rate 7 days a week. No overtime charges ever. When it matters most, call Strittmatters. Online at strittmatters.com.
Thinking of buying or selling your home? Lisa Morris and Shannon Piper with the Cloud Realty team have been serving the DFW area for over 15 years. They specialize in residential buying, residential selling, and work with investors all over the Metroplex. Call them today at 469-300-1109 or go to txcloudrealty.com and check out their 5-star reviews. Contact Lisa and Shannon today to find your next dream home.
Rapid Med Urgent Care Center in Highland Village provides Southern Denton County families with state-of-the-art emergency medical care right in your neighborhood. From checkups to broken bones, school vaccinations, sports physicals, and more, you can count on Rapid Med for all of your medical needs. Rapid Med is proud to provide the latest in concussion management through the IMPACT program in partnership with the Texas Health Sports Network. Rapid Med Urgent Care Center is dedicated to providing you with quality care quickly. Visit rapidmed.com.
Jag Nation Football with Coach Brian Basil. Thanks to the Jaguar Booster Club for bringing the show to you each and every week during the season. Visit and shop local with our sponsors, Anderson Roofing, Rapid Med, Strittmatter Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, along with Cloud Realty. And as always, pleased to be joined by head coach Brian Basil. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, John. Thanks for having me.
Man, good stuff. We're getting into the heart of the football season, district play, getting into the meat of district action. Coach, you know, the Jaguars, we were just talking about it before we hit the record button, battled hard on the road at Hebron. You're able to get everything out of them as the team tied the game in the fourth quarter on a pass from Nick Evers to Parker Clark for a big touchdown. But then more importantly, with 10 minutes left in the game, the defense held Hebron to force overtime. What can you say about the effort your team displayed last Friday night?
Well, it was outstanding. Really proud of those guys. It was a really, really tough loss. Kids fought hard against a great Hebron team. Always tough to go over and play them at their place, but I was really proud of the way our kids came in and fought, especially after a tough loss the week before, and putting together a good week of practice and refocusing and just playing with a lot of pride. It was in all phases of the game. It was the best we had played all year, really on a consistent basis. So just really proud of them. Really thought that we grew and had some guys step into roles, and we're continuing to get better. I think that's the thing that we look at and build upon.
Yeah, and looking at the box score, great production, pretty evenly matched game. Total offense, 306 yards. Hebron had 336, but, number of plays, I know that's important. You want to have as many snaps as you can on the offensive side, 57 snaps versus 64 on Hebron. Yards per play jumped up 5.4 yards per play. You got to be happy with that, Coach. And 287 yards of passing, pretty efficient night. 13.7 yards per pass. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, you did everything right, just came up a little short.
Yeah. Well, it just shows the growth of our team. We know coming in, obviously, we talked before about just having some guys that getting some experience and gaining some confidence. We're really proud of offensively protected the quarterback well. We were able to get some things going in the run game. We were able to stay on schedule a lot better, hit some big pass plays, made some big third down conversions, a fourth down conversion there on our scoring drive that tied the game. That was one thing positive to see from our offense is continuing to find guys that will make plays and able to execute. That was I think you can see those guys as the game went on that they knew we were going to be able to do some things and move the ball against them. Of course, defensively flew around all night. Special teams been very consistent as always. So a lot of positives come out of that.
Well, Coach, we talk about, the great game of football is just full of adversity and, getting knocked down, getting back up. When you come out on the losing end of a tough game like versus Hebron, what's the message to the staff and the players the following day when you come back in, beat up and bruised up on a Saturday?
Yeah, that's always tough, and that's the challenge as a coach is that you pour your heart and soul into it, and you come up 3 overtimes and just go toe to toe. And as disappointed as our kids were, I think that they realized that we played pretty well. We have offense, defense, and special teams goals, and we feel like if there's 6 offensive goals, 6 defensive goals, 6 special teams goals, and we always tell our kids that we want to cover 4 out of those 6 up. And if we cover 4 out of 6 and 2 out of those 3 areas, then we're going to win. We've had those goals and have done that for a long, long time. And that's been pretty standard where if you get 2 out of those 3, you're probably going to win the game. Now, we played with a lot of heart and character and passion the other night. We still only covered up, I think, out of the total 18 goals in offense, defense, special teams, I think we covered up 5 of them. So we told them that you take that effort and passion and desire and just that competitive spirit, and now you combine it with the execution in some areas, then we're going to be a tough team to beat down the road. And I think that's what you tell them is that there's still a lot of growth to occur. The week before, we really didn't feel great about a lot of areas where we played, and so we showed them that they're a resilient group that cares about each other. They put a great week of work in, and we told them just because you didn't. Just because the score didn't reflect it on the scoreboard, the effort that you played with and the way that you bounced back and overcame some adversity shows a lot. We always relate our building blocks to the life skills that the things that make you successful in football are going to allow you to be successful in life and as a dad and as a husband, as a worker. That sometimes things aren't always going to go your way. And even when you put everything into it and invest everything into it and you put in the work, sometimes things don't always work out like you want them to. We play opponents that are talented and game plan and do those things as well. So, but that doesn't change your mentality. I think that those kids learn how to stick together and how to compete. And we came back and had a great practice yesterday. We'll have a great practice today coming out and that preparation. I mean, those kids show that they're able to face some adversity and be tough and maintain their composure. I think all those things, especially after a tough loss, even after wins, we tell them those same things. You put it behind you and you move on to the next week because I think if you ask those kids, it was a lot of fun playing in that game. There's a lot of great energy on the sideline. I mean, those kids were invested. We're celebrating big plays, celebrating with each other. And that's really what it's all about. And when you get a taste of that, it just drives you to want to do it again. And, even more so to get a taste of victory, especially in a tough game like that.
That's a great message, Coach Basil. We've been talking about the defense all season long. Defense came up big again on the road at Hebron, holding Hebron to only 14 points during regulation. And like I said, that big stop there at the end of the game as well. But what else can you say about the defensive effort? I mean, it's just such a team effort. I look at the stat sheet, just so many players contributing, all up and down the line of scrimmage, defensive backs, just great leadership on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, of course, Stone, EB, just has played really well all year. Our defensive line really got after it. Colton Votney, Bentley Stry, Sam Vibrel, those guys really played well. We had a couple other guys subbing in and out that kept some fresh legs in there. Landon Colby was one of our defensive players game. He had an outstanding game. Joey Lukash, who plays will linebacker for us, those guys were flying around. Ryan McDavid, starts at the nickel for us and really is a versatile guy. There's a lot of things. Cooper Davis had some big PBUs. Christian Clayerball. Davin Hassett and Jaden Esposito. Jaden had an interception in the second quarter, just an outstanding play, jumped a little hitch route. But yeah, that's one of those things is that you had 11 guys on the field that were doing a job and playing with relentless effort. We really made a comment on Saturday watching film. There were a lot of times there were 6-7 guys around the football for 0-yard gains. So they're reading their keys, they're getting to the ball, they're flying around. We were really proud of that effort.
Yeah, Coach Votney, Vibrel, and also Jake Rumsey all had sacks as well. And like you said, just coming up big at the right time. And people get tired of hearing it, but defensive wins championships. And you can do a lot of great things in a football game when your defense is playing as well as the Jaguars have been playing. Yeah,
no doubt. Those guys are taking a lot of pride in making that style of play their trademark, and just 11 guys doing their job, playing with relentless effort.
Well, Coach, just turn our attention to the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. Become a really kind of a big game on the calendar each and every season. You've won this battle the last 4 seasons in a row. So I'd have to think that Lewisville has this one circled. They're hungry to beat the Jaguars on this 5th matchup. They don't want to go 0-5 the last 5 seasons.
Well, it's been a great matchup. We've had some games that just gone right down to the end the last couple of years, and Coach Odell does a great job with those guys. They're an outstanding football team, and I'm sure they're coming in wanting some payback for the last few years. When you're playing, of course, Marcus and Hebron, Lewisville, you play those guys every year, so those all become little rivalry games on your schedule, and you want to have bragging rights for the year, and you want to play well against those guys.
Yeah, a couple of the games you've had some miraculous comebacks to win, in the final minutes of the game, and just some great victories. For some of the newer fans, maybe just joining the Jaguar Nation, kind of relive one or two of those big highlights.
Well, the thing from 2 years ago, we had come in and played through our non-district schedule and had a bye week, and we were coming off of a tough loss against a really good Prosper team, and went into our bye week and just felt like we had a lot of growing we needed to do. And so we played Lewisville that first week out in district, and I felt like we addressed some things and got back to some basics that we needed to, and we came out and really didn't play well in the first half of that game. We went at halftime down 13-0, and came back in the second half. And it reminds me a lot of our approach coming in this Hebron game. We were invested, and we had a lot of players that cared about going out and not worrying about, well, if they're going to make a mistake or if they're going to make a wrong play. They played with confidence. They were in emotionally, and in the second half we came back and won that game. We Blake Short really got settled in the second half of that game and brought us back. We won, I think 35-27 was the final in that football game. And it never looked back. We ended up running the table in district and won the first district championship in school history. And that game was really a point where we knew Lewisville was a really good team, and I think that gave us some confidence to show that we had a good team too. Last year, again, another game that just went right down the wire. We scored with 12 seconds left to go take a 4-point lead or a 3-point lead. And ended up winning the game. And again, that kind of gave us some confidence and let us know, we can go play with a really good football team like Lewisville. And, those games have come down to where you get some really key plays in a tight ball game. And, I think it's been an exciting game for fans to watch. A lot of talent on the field on both sides of the ball.
Well, Coach, Lewisville comes into Neil Wilson Stadium on Friday night with the best running back in the state of Texas, statistically in 6A, Damian Martinez, over 1,000 yards already in this young season, averaging 9.7 yards per carry and 14 touchdowns. What will be the keys? It's going to be a great matchup, Jaguar defense versus this can be explosive Lewisville offense. What are going to be some of the keys to slowing down Damian Martinez?
Well, he's a really good running back, and he's big. We got to get multiple people to the ball. The challenge that they have is that they've got they're very talented at quarterback. They're very talented at receiver. So it's hard to get box numbers favorable to where you can take away the run. We really got to do a great job on line of scrimmage, and our offensive line is good. They're big, so we got to do a good job on the front line, just neutralizing that and not opening up gaps, because we can't let him get north and south, and that's the thing. And when he's had some big runs, he gets a full head of steam. He's a big back, and so we got to keep him from just getting between tackle to tackle and making a cut and getting vertical and getting behind the shoulder pads, because he's tough to bring down. So we got to get people the ball. We got to try to disguise as much as we can as far as where people are going to be inserting into the box to fit for the run. They do a good job of if the box numbers are favorable, they're going to throw to one of their talented receivers. They've got some height on the outside with 2 6'3" receivers on the outside. So we're going to have 11 guys out there really competing. And if they make a play, we got to come back and bounce back and play the next play. And, we got to be opportunistic. If we got an opportunity to get off the field on third down, we got to do it. If we've got an opportunity to get a turnover, we got to do it.
Well, Coach, you mentioned there are 2 featured receivers. That's Isaiah Stevens and Armani Winfield, go-to receivers. Taylor Green, the quarterback, threw for 6 touchdowns last week. So they do have a balanced approach. Offensively, you had over 300 yards of total offense this past week. If we're talking about a victory on Friday night, will you be satisfied with the same level of production, or do you believe it'll take more output to get the win over the Fighting Farmers?
Yeah, well, I think when you look at offensively, as far as total yards, you also tie that into total number of plays. And I think the key for us is our success as far as just number of yards per play. If we're running roughly 60 plays a game and have over 300 yards of offense, then that means our production is really pretty good. Obviously we get to the point where we can run 80 plays and we're still averaging 5 or 6 yards per play, then that's even better. So, I'd be completely happy for that. If our defense is getting off the field and giving our offense opportunities, and our offense is moving the ball, moving the chains, I don't think it's as much as the total yards, but the number of plays per yard that we're averaging is one thing that's important for us. In the past, we've been an offense that goes pretty fast. The other night, we slowed down a little bit. We wanted to make sure that our guys were identifying blitzes on protections and run game schemes, and I did a good look at where the defense is lining up, and I think that helped us out a little bit. So if our offense, if they're throwing and catching, if we're getting positive run plays like we were last week, then I would feel pretty good about that. And if our defense continues to fly around and make plays and pin their ears back and be aggressive, then that's what we're going to need to do to be successful on Friday.
For Coach Brian Basil, I'm John Piper. Thanks for tuning in to another segment of Jag Nation Football. Coach, good luck Friday night against the Lewisville Fighting Farmers.
All right. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.